NEET PG, Rank Boosting Sessions, PSM Quiz. Hello friends, I am Dr. Vivek Jain, Faculty of Preventive and Social Medicine, that is Community Medicine, and I welcome you to the grand finale of this quiz series, quiz number 10. Friends, today we will be covering the all important topics of biostatistics, healthcare system in the country, and international health. Friends, as all of you are aware till now, what is the format of the quiz? Please take a pen and paper and write answers on that. In the end, I will tell you your score with the desirable score in this quiz. I will try to simulate the exact examination scenario or situation that you are going to face when you appear for the important exam of your professional career. So, I will read question along with you. Try to understand the question. Each question gets around 45 seconds to 1 minute in the exam. But since I am trying to read and understand the question alongside you, I will give you 20 seconds per answer. In case question is lengthier, you will get more the time. Nothing to worry. So guys and girls, are you ready? So let us start with the first question which is coming on your screen next. The first question is, for the image shown, all are true except choice A, mean is equal to median. Choice B, mean is equal to 0, standard deviation is 1. Choice number C, infinite standard deviation. Choice number D, median is more than mode. And your time starts now. Okay friends, you will get double the time in this question. Faster friends, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. So friends, first you tell me, this image or diagram is known as, very right, this is normal distribution. Also known as Gaussian distribution. What are the important properties of normal distribution? Look at the diagram. What is its shape? First property, it is bilaterally symmetrical, bell shaped. Second property, what is the relationship between mean, median and mode in normal distribution? All three coincide. What is the meaning of all three coincide? That in a normal distribution, mean is equal to median value, which in turn is equal to mode value. If you take mean to be at center here, if you take mean here and suppose we label it as 0, then on one side is 0.5 standard deviation 50% values, on another side is 0.5 standard deviation 50% values. 50% deviation and 50% deviation, total deviation is 100% or 1. So if you take mean to be 0, total standard deviation becomes 1 in a normal distribution. Please remember, we focus on first three standard deviations. Mean plus minus 1 standard deviation covers 68% values. Mean plus minus 2 standard deviations cover 95% values. And mean plus minus 3 standard deviations cover 99% values. But as you keep on increasing, more values will be covered. This has got infinite standard deviations because actually this curve at this point and this point never touches the baseline. So correct answer to this question is, they are asking except. So correct answer is choice number D. Mean is equal to median equal to mode in a normal distribution. Let us move to question number 2. False about the diagram shown in the photograph is positive correlation, -1 to 0 R lies, dot diagram shown by socioeconomic status and IMR, and your time starts now. Interesting question friends. Okay friends, first you tell me, this is which type of statistical diagram shown on your screen? Very right, this is a type of scatter diagram. It is a quantitative data diagram which is drawn between two variables and their correlation or relationship is evaluated. So this is used to assess correlation or relationship between those two quantitative variables when their corresponding values are plotted. Dots are there, as you can see. So this is also known as dot diagram. Then how do you interpret the scatter diagram? You look at the slope of the line. Which line? Line has to be single, straight and closest to all dots. So in this diagram it will come something like this. If you see carefully, this line has got a negative slope. Negative slope means if one variable is increasing, other will be decreasing. Example like socioeconomic status and infant mortality rate. Higher the socioeconomic status, lesser the infant mortality rate and vice versa. Negative correlation. Correlation coefficient R lies between -1 and 0. So correct answer to this question, they are asking false statement. Is choice number A. This is not a positive correlation. This is a negative correlation. Quick fact, correlation coefficient overall lies between -1 to +1, which can have three possibilities: positive correlation 0 to 1, negative correlation -1 to 0, and absent or no correlation when R is exactly 0. Let us move to question number 3. Village 1, population 1000, mean age is 20 years and standard deviation is 2 years. At the same time, there is village 2, 2000 population, mean age 40, standard deviation 1 year. Which of the following is or are true statement? This is a multiple response type of question. Choices which are given: village 1 variation is 10, village 2 variation is 2.5, village 1 has higher variation, village 2 has higher variation. For solving this question, you will get double the time and your time starts now. Come on friends, quickly mark the answer, do the calculations. Okay, so friends, if you look at this question and choices, what they are asking you to compare variation in two villages. Variation you can compare by which mode or which type of dispersion? That is known as COV, coefficient of variation. What is the formula for this? This is sigma upon mu into 100, or I can say standard deviation divided by mean into 100. Now you calculate for both the villages separately. When I look at coefficient of variation in village 1, standard deviation divided by mean value into 100. So that will be 2 standard deviation divided by mean 20 into 100. So that will come in percentage 10%. Similarly, when I look at coefficient of variation in second village, what is the standard deviation given? That is 1. What is the mean age given? 40 years into 100. So that will come 2.5%. So now you just have to read the question and choices carefully. Question is asking about true statement. So let us go choice by choice. Variation in village 1, age is 10. This is correct. Choice number A is the answer. Choice number B, variation in village 2 is 2.5. Even this is correct. Look at choice number C, variation in village 1 is higher. This is correct. 10% variation as compared to 2.5%. Look at choice number D, village 2 has higher variation. No, village 2 has lesser variation. So easy question, provided you know the formula and you calculate it very fast. In case rough sheet is not given, in such type of questions you will have to do mental calculations. So you will have to be very thorough with the formula. So friends, please revise the formula from epidemiology, biostatistics, demography and health, and chapter of environment just before going into the exam. Also look at MCH indicators formulae from RCH program of India also. Question number 4. Rejection of true null hypothesis is known as type 1 error, type 2 error, both none. And to solve this question, your time starts now. Okay friends, so what is the answer now? Friends, concept of statistical errors is tedious, difficult slightly to understand, but a very interesting topic. In fact, I have given it in detail in my mobile app video also, but I cannot explain so much at this point of time because we have little time. So what I'll do is just go through the concept briefly. If you look at hypothesis you make a null hypothesis opposite of that. Now there are two possibilities. Either your null hypothesis may be true or false. This is based on reality. But when you do a study, you may get similar result, you may get opposite result. On basis of your results, you will have to either reject the null hypothesis or accept the null hypothesis. This creates four type of situations in front of us. If null hypothesis is true, but you reject, this is type 1 statistical error. Opposite of that, if null hypothesis is false but accepted by chance, this becomes type 2 error. Other two situations are no error at all. So answer to this question is type 1 error. True null hypothesis in reality is rejected because we got opposite result of that. Just a quick fact, type 1 error probability is given by p-value. Probability of type 2 error is beta. For significant results, p-value should be kept below 0.05 or 5%. Question number 5 now. Correct about the distribution of weights in the group, and you are given weights as 70, 70, 70, 75, 79, 83, 84, 85. Then as a multiple response type answer, you are given mean 77, median 77, mode 70, range 12 and normal distribution. To solve this question, you will get double the time and it has started. Half the time is over, friends. Okay friends, I give you additional 20 seconds. Please solve it correctly. Okay friends, that's it. So let us see friends, what is the answer to this question. You are being asked about central tendency. Three measures are mean, median, mode. So let us first look at these weight of 8 students given to us in front. If you look mean, how do we calculate mean exactly? It is sum of all the values divided by total number of observations. So you tell me, if I add up all the 8 values, what is the total weight of the group sum? That comes to be 660 and total number of observation or students are 8. So mean is 77. Now I look at median. Median says arrange these values in an ascending order. Look at the middle values. They are already arranged in ascending order. What is the middle value? Actually, there are two middle values, these two, 75 and 79. When we get two middle values, how do we calculate the middle value? By taking the average. So that will be 75 plus 79 divided by 2. So that will be 77. And friends, what is mode exactly? Mode by definition is most frequently occurring or repeated value in the distribution. Which value is repeating maximum? You can see 70 is occurring thrice maximum. So mode value is 70 kilogram. So now you just have to read the question choice by choice. Let us look at choice A. Mean is 77. This is correct. Look at choice B. Median is 77. Even this is correct. Look at choice C. Mode is 70. Even this is correct. Fourth choice is based on range. Friends, what is the formula for range? Range is a measure of dispersion, not central tendency. Range is calculated as maximum value minus minimum value. In this question, maximum value is 85, minimum value is 70. So range of weight of these 8 students group is 15 kilogram. So this answer is not correct. Look at choice number E. It is a normal distribution. Is it correct? No. Because in normal distribution, we discussed in a previous question, mean, median and mode coincide. They have equal value. Here mean and median are equal, but mode is lesser. So this is not a normal distribution. I am sure you must have attempted this easy question correctly. Question number 6. Central value of a set of 180 values can be obtained by second tertile, 90th percentile, 9th decile or second quartile. And to solve this question, your time starts now. That's it, friends. So what is the answer? Friends, this question is based on the concept of locations. Locations are many. Tertile divided into 3 parts, quartile divided into 4 parts, pentile divided into 5 parts, centile or percentile divides into 100 parts and so on. So if you look at the concept of quartile, 1 quarter is 1/4. So quartile divides a distribution into 4 equal parts. Let's look at the example given. There are 180 values. Let us say 0 to 180. If you want to divide into 4 equal parts, you will need quartiles. So I will need 3 intercepts. So quartiles divide into 4 parts, but themselves they are 3. Quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3. Suppose this is a uniform distribution. So what will be location of quartile 1? That will be 45th value. What will be quartile 2? 90th value. And what will be quartile 3? That will be 135th value. Now you can see we have 4 equal parts. In terms of percentage, I can say quartile 1 is at 25th value out of 100. Quartile 2 50th value. Quartile 3 75th value. So that you have 4 equal parts of 25% each. Now question is asking central value. So central value you can find by quartile 2, 90. So central value from 0 to 180 will be 90th value. So quartile 2 is the answer, choice number D. Quartile 2 is also known as fiftieth centile or 50th percentile. In tertiles, there is no central value as such directly seen. Question number 7 we move. For a negatively skewed data, mean will be less than median, more than median, equal to median or 1, and your time starts now. Okay friends, that's it. Okay friends, normal distribution we know, bilaterally symmetrical bell shaped. We can apply the formula and calculate also. But if it is not normally distributed, data may be tilted or skewed to one side. So one type of graph you may get is something like this, that it may be tilted to one side like this. Or it may be exactly opposite, where the data may be tilted to the other side like this. So upper graph is known as right skew, also known as positive skew. Similarly, the lower graph is left or negative skew. In a right or positive skew, please remember mean is greater than median is greater than mode. In a left or negatively skewed curve, it will be exactly opposite. So you will get. So now the answer to this question, they are asking about negatively skewed data. That means left skewed curve. That means they are talking of this particular curve. So mean will be less than median, less than mode. If all mean, median, mode coincide, it will become normal distribution, bilaterally symmetrical. Friends, now we move to question number 8. It is a fill in the blank type of question, fairly easy. Degrees of freedom given in the diagram is, and your time starts now. Okay friends, so what is the answer to this question? Friends, first you tell me degrees of freedom is used in which statistical test? Very right, that is chi-square test. And for solving degree of freedom, what is the formula we use? We use degree of freedom is C minus 1 into R minus 1. What is C and R? Number of columns in the table, number of rows in the table. So in this particular question, you tell me how many columns are there? Can I say 4? How many rows are there? Can I say 4 or 3? Answer is no. Friends, please remember, when you are looking at number of columns and rows, important thing to understand, totals are not taken into consideration. Legends are not counted. So what is column and row? Column and row is the actual cells which contain the numbers. So this red colored is the actual table. So it has got 2 columns, 2 rows. So this will be 2 minus 1, 2 minus 1, 1 into 1. So degree of freedom in this question is 1. I hope you have not attempted this easy question wrongly, because such questions are very commonly asked in the exam. You have to understand the concept. Want to practice more questions? Go to any book, my review of PSM book or my mobile app. So many examples, concepts I have explained in this topic. Kindly go through it. Friends, now we come to question number 9. It is match the following type of question. Match the health agencies and the location of their headquarters. A is WHO, B is UNICEF, C is FAO. Their headquarters are given as 1, 2, 3. 1 is Rome, Italy. 2 is New York, USA. 3rd is Geneva, Switzerland. And your time starts now. Okay friends, so what is the answer to this question? Easy question? Absolutely. Let us look at choice number A. That is WHO. What is WHO? World Health Organization. What is the location of headquarters? It is Geneva, Switzerland. Geneva, Switzerland is also the location of headquarters of ILO, International Labour Organization. UNICEF. What is UNICEF? United Nations International Children Emergency Fund. Headquarters are located at New York, USA. And third choice, FAO. What is FAO? Food and Agricultural Organization. Its headquarters are located at Rome, Italy. So kindly go through them once. Quick fact, WHO, World Health Organization, was established in 1945, but its constitution came into force on 7th April 1948. So 7th April became World Health Day. Question number 10. World Health Day is observed on, I have already answered. And what is the World Health Day 2021 theme? And your time starts now. Friends, just one day back, I have shared World Health Day 2021 across all my social media channels and platforms. So I am sure Many of you must have seen that post by me, WhatsApp, Telegram groups of mine, on my Facebook page also I shared. Also I shared on different Facebook groups and on my Instagram channel also. So let us look at the answer to this question. As I've already discussed, World Health Day. This is on 7th April every year. Now I cannot ask you, or even examiner is not expecting that you will be able to remember World Health Day theme of last 50 years. But the latest current year you should definitely know. So 2021, what is the World Health Day theme? That is building a fairer, healthier world. So join my Instagram handle, YouTube channel, Facebook groups, Telegram group, or join me on WhatsApp. I keep on updating public health information on a regular basis so that you are most updated when you appear for the all important exam of your professional career. Question number 11 comes on your screen now. Organism included in category A bioterrorism is or are. This is a multiple response answer and your time starts now. Time is up. Okay friends, take 5 more seconds to solve the answer. That's it. Okay friends, bioterrorism agents according to WHO have been divided into 3 categories. Category A, most dangerous, most easy to spread. Category B, less dangerous, slightly less easy to spread. And category C, new emerging pathogens. When we look at category A, it has got a total of 6 bioterrorism agents or diseases. These are smallpox, causative agent, variola major. Then we have anthrax, causative agent, Bacillus anthracis, tularemia, causative agent, Francisella, botulism disease, causative agent, Clostridium botulinum. Fifth is plague, causative agent, Yersinia pestis. And sixth is viral hemorrhagic fevers. Which viral hemorrhagic fevers? Can I say dengue? No. It includes Ebola, Marburg, Lassa type of fever. So friends, let's read all the choices. It is such a easy question. Answer will be choice number B, choice number C, and choice number D. So answer to this question, multiple responses, choices B, C and D. Moving on to healthcare system now. Question number 12, multiple response type again. Delivery facilities available at subcenter type A, subcenter type B, PHC type A, PHC type B, Anganwadi, and your time starts now. Okay friends, that's it. Friends, there was once a question in your paper, what is the basis of difference between type A subcenter, type B subcenter? It is actually based on availability of delivery facility. In type A subcenter, there is no delivery facility. In type B subcenter, delivery facility is available. Now at primary health center, delivery facility is available. So what is the difference between PHC type A and PHC type B? Because both have got delivery facility. It is based on number of deliveries every month. Type A is up to 20 deliveries per month and type B PHC is when we have more than this number. Anganwadi, do you have a delivery facility available? No. So answer to this question is choice number B, choice number D, and choice number E. So read the question and choices very carefully in the exam. Question number 13. Fill in the blank, easy question. What is the population norm for health worker male and 1 PHC in tribal areas? And your time starts now. Okay friends, let us solve the question. What is or who is health worker male? Actually it is another name of multi-purpose worker male. Multi-purpose worker is located at which health center in the country? That is sub-center. Now when you look at sub-center in plains, they are established 1 per 5,000 population. When you look at hilly area, tribal area, difficult to access areas, they are established 1 per 3,000. So overall plains, it is established per 5,000 population. Now there are two multipurpose worker male female. So answer to this question will be 1 per 5,000 population. So both multipurpose worker male, multipurpose worker female work for 5,000 population catered by that particular sub-center. When we look at similarly primary health center in plains is established for 30,000 population. Hilly, tribal or difficult to access area, it is established for 20,000 population. Read the question carefully. They are asking primary health center for tribal area. So this is 1 per 20,000 populations. Friends, go through all the population norms given at one place in my mobile video lecture app, and you should know not just sub-center PHC but CHC also. You should know about ASHA worker also, multipurpose worker population norm, traditional birth attendant, village health guide, Anganwadi worker, Anganwadi center you should know. Definitely you should know for DOTS clinic, SET center, MDT clinic, TB unit you should know. Also you should know about ophthalmologist and USHA worker also. Let us move to question number 14 now. 4 pillars of primary healthcare are, please write all the 4 answers correctly. You will get thrice the time to solve this question. Let us see how many of you remember actually your undergraduation days. Half the time is over, friends. You will get the answer marks complete only when all your 4 options or answers you have marked are correct. Okay, that's it friends. Friends, when you are looking at primary healthcare, it has got 8 elements that you will have to remember separately. From these 4 pillars are also known as 4 principles. And what are these? First is equitable distribution. Everyone should get same services irrespective of geographic, demographic or socio-economic status. Second is appropriate technology. Technology should be cheaper, but results should be like exactly the expensive technology. Standpipe in a village is a very good example. Third is community participation. ASHA worker is a very good example. And fourth is intersectoral coordination. So friends, if you have got all the 4 correct, very nice. Now friends, let's move to question number 15. It is a fill in the blank type of question. Question says, Panchayati Raj institutions were strengthened in India by which amendments in constitution of the country? You have to name the two amendments and your time starts now. Very popular question of the upcoming examination conducting body. Friends, Panchayati Raj institutions, local governing body at the lowest most basic rural level, they have been given health related administrative powers by 73rd amendment to the constitution and 74th amendment to the constitution. So these PRIs play a very big role in delivery of healthcare services in the country. When you look level wise, we have got Panchayat. This is the lowest at village level. Above that is Panchayat Samiti. This is at block level. Then highest body is Zilla Parishad, which is at district level. At village level, Panchayat consists of Gram Panchayat, Gram Sabha and Nyay Panchayat. So friends, with this question, we come to the end of today's grand finale quiz. What is your score today? Personally, I feel based on my teaching experience of last 15 years, out of 15 questions today, you should have got minimum 11 to 12 correct. So if you have got 11, 12, 13, amazing. If you have got 14 or 15 correct, excellent. All of you guys and girls are really on course to achieve a very good rank in the exam. If someone has got 10 or lesser questions correct, nothing to be disheartened about, friends. Just go back and practice more questions from whichever source of content you have been doing since start. So keep on revising, keep on revising, keep on revising. Friends, heartfelt thanks for being a part of this quiz series since start. There are several students who have appeared in each single quiz and we had so much fruitful discussion over this series. Thank you so much. I believe this series is going to help you revise not just your whole course in a small time frame, but will also help you build confidence. I wish you all the best for a grand success in the forthcoming examination. Friends, the mantra of life. The secret of success in life is a man should be ready when his opportunity comes to him. It is not only for man, of course, it is for women also what I am saying. So be ready. The opportunity is right knocking at your door. Give your best shot. Give your 100%. Trust your capabilities. Trust your hard work. Do multiple revisions as much as possible. Practice questions on a daily basis. I know very little time is left, but don't waste any time. Take adequate sleep. Take good diet and stay on course. So best of luck from my side, friends. Thank you so much for being a part of this wonderful journey of PSM quiz rank booster sessions. And please don't forget to share your results with me on social media platforms. I never judge a student by his rank or score in the exam. Frankly, it is your effort which counts. So I believe you are going to do amazingly good in the exams. Best of luck.